One about Irish Uncensored. Tell them to like and subscribe. What the fuck are you doing? Do your fucking job. Go fucking like the video and click subscribe. That's all you fucking do. Hello everyone, welcome back to Irish Uncensored. I'm Tyler, this is Grant, and this is Little Bryce. How you guys doing?
Oh, it's another Saturday, buddy. Way to go.
Another day, another dollar.
Well, let's hope so. So I know you guys were really excited about this week's because you did so well last week.
Yeah. Unfortunately, life happens and everyone got busy and we were unable to get you guys some picks. I went 4-0 last week naturally. Bryce had pretty much the same affect. It was a very good weekend last weekend.
Yeah, last week I was really busy just watching and being a part of Comics Curing Cancer. We raised over $23,000 for the American Cancer Society. It was just fantastic. So shout out to everyone who was involved with that. But let's get into some bets today. And what do you guys like? Let's get into it. And if you are in the comments, let us know what you like and what we should look up if you think there's any questions you have or anything.
Sure, Bryce, you want to kick it off?
Yeah, the first game we'll target is the Illinois-Nebraska game. I was on Chase Brown 2 weeks ago when we did that first one. He leads the NCAA in rush yards and attempts per game. Nebraska rush D coming in at 115.
Ooh.
So I got the alt spread at -6.5 at -135. I think it's like regular at -7, but Illinois, Chase Brown, yeah, anything Illinois bet over Nebraska because I got no faith in them.
That could be like a legit Illinois wins by 20 kind of game.
Dude, I think that might be my best bet today because I seen that and I was like, Illinois' defense is number 1. I was like, how are they number 1? They're that good right now.
Right.
What time do they play today? 3:30. 3:30. Yeah, that's a good bet. I'm taking that literally right now.
It seemed like a banger right when I found out. I was like, wow.
I got that in one of my parlays at the exact same -6.5. Just bought a point just because, winning by a touchdown is easier than winning by 2 scores. So, yeah, I like that for sure. That's a good one. My first one that I'm rolling with this week is I'm going Oak State money line at +102. They're playing at Kansas State. Kansas State's quarterback is banged up. I think he's even questionable as to if he's even going to play. I'm sure he'll give it a go because it's a big game and he's not a bitch. So he's going to try to boss up and play. But I mean, he's literally a hit away. He's a hit away from being sidelined. And Kansas State, they're more of like a ground and pound team for the most part. I'm not saying they're not talented, but I'm just saying if there's anything that we've seen, it's that Oklahoma State can play. That's the bottom line. I mean, they battled with Texas. They ended up coming out with a win. They battled with TCU, came out on the bad side of that one. But at the end of the day, we know for a fact that they're a good team and that they're going to put up points and that they can especially play with a top tier competition. So I'm taking them the +102 on Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I've got. So the first one I'll take is the one I put in as my name. Notre Dame Syracuse over is 47.5. That seems really low. Like, I know Notre Dame is inconsistent. I know we sucked against Stanford, but Syracuse is banged up, like Grant was saying before the stream started. And we scored, how many points? Was it 24 in the first quarter last week? It was something crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like we're getting going again. And even if we
UNLV.
don't score 24 in the first quarter, if we score that in the game, most likely it's going over already. And I think we're scoring over 30 this game. And I think Syracuse could as well.
Yeah, this might be, and obviously, like, Notre Dame fans, me and Tyler at least, but this might be one of the most interesting betting matchups of the weekend because it's Notre Dame on the road against Syracuse. And here's the truth of it. My nuke of the week, I banged 220 on Notre Dame money line at plus 112 over Syracuse, and I'm going to tell you why. Our O
You
line.
tell me why, Grant.
Tell us why.
Even if you don't want to know why. Plus 112 is when I got it. The line has moved since. It's about plus 100, so it's very close to being even. Notre Dame's strength of their team for every single year since the beginning of time seems to be their O-line. Syracuse is one spot that you could argue is their weakest point is their defensive line. They're undersized. I mean, Notre Dame's going to have we're talking two tackles, 6'7", 6'8", 330, 315. I mean, a three-headed monster at running back. The problem is, as good as Syracuse has played and as good as they have looked, their weakness is Notre Dame's strength. That's just the bottom line. I mean, if Notre Dame this is going to be the key. If they can get out and they can get ahead, 7-0, 17-7, things like that, then they just control the game. They control the game the whole time. Syracuse is talented offensively, but if there's one thing we've seen, it's that Notre Dame has shown up every game on the road or neutral site, and they've showed up for every big game. Ohio State, North Carolina, BYU, all those games, those are the games they played the best in when they're away from home.
So you think they're going to be well prepared?
I think that Notre Dame's going to be extremely well prepared. And here's the thing. You can't overestimate the fact that Syracuse just spent last week banging with Clemson. You cannot underestimate that. So here's the thing. When teams play Notre Dame, Bryce, I know you may not know this because you're a Texas fan. Most of the time when Notre Dame plays people, they have a bye before they play Notre Dame.
Yeah, and they're up for that game. And Syracuse was just up for the Clemson game.
Yes, Syracuse was just way up for the Clemson game.
Yeah.
They're now
You're right. This is a rarity for Notre Dame, any opponent. Like maybe in the last 5 years.
Yeah, they're extremely banged up. Their corner, I think Garrett Williams, he's a Garrett Williams, I don't know. He's a beast. He barely even played last week or didn't play. There's guys in their teams that are questionable, not 100%. That's just the truth of the matter. And they were way up last week. I don't care that they're going back home. You didn't get to overlook Clemson to play Notre Dame. This is a middle of the road Notre Dame team. Like, I don't care. You can say it's the brand, whatever. They're going to be up for it. I'm sure it's going to be loud in the Carrier Dome, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Syracuse, man. It's not going to be that loud.
Football school now.
It's the same shit I said about North Carolina. At the end of the day, Notre Dame is better. They have better people. They have better coaches. They have better everything. And I think it's going to show. I mean, this is a game that I could see ND winning by 10.
All right, that's fair. I'd come in and argue for the Syracuse side a little bit, though, because I'd argue you guys definitely don't have a better running back. You definitely don't have a better – their quarterback isn't the best, but I feel like he gets it done when he needs to, and I feel like you're kind of not seeing that. But I understand. I do think it's a 50-50 game. Like, I kind of think it's a toss-up. It could come down to, like, last possession, defensive grind. But Sean Tucker, definitely better than your guys' RBs right now for sure.
He's better as an individual, but I mean, here's the thing of it is that Tyree Diggs and Estime.
Yeah, but wait. What happened? How did Texas lose to Alabama? A superstar quarterback made a play when he needed to. You need big time players to make big time plays in the right time, and sometimes it takes that one guy.
Pine is doing that now.
Yeah.
Who?
Pine.
Pine's played good, but like I said, I think it's a 50-50, but I don't think you're giving Syracuse enough credit. Like, they got some players that are better.
I think they're good. I think they're going to score a couple multiple times this game where it's like, fuck. So are we.
Sure.
Yeah.
This is what I'll say. You barely beat Purdue.
Purdue's okay.
We almost can't go through resume with Notre Dame's resume.
But this is the thing, though. This is the thing. Like, you barely beat Purdue. You barely beat – who was it? I'm going to look at their schedule.
It's tough because, like, you look at ours, too. We lost to Marshall. I think we're still looking for our first touchdown against Stanford. Like, we have been up and down. And then we score like fucking crazy on the road against North Carolina and last week. So
okay, I got it. You beat Louisville week 1. Okay, Louisville's whatever this year. They're not. I mean, anything special. You beat UConn. Good job. You barely beat Purdue on a last-second touchdown. You beat Purdue. You barely hang on against Virginia. Virginia's not anything special this year. You beat Wagner. What the fuck is that?
I mean, 59-0 though. Like they did what they should.
Yeah,
They did what they should, but who the fuck is that?
Every team has those games. Big time programs have those games. You need soft weeks because your players are so banged up and tired.
Look at our
you
soft
need
week.
Your soft week, you guys got screwed.
We
and it's
lost.
just like that happens. It happens sometimes.
Wagner's not even FBS, so let's just get that clear.
No, that was for sure a fuck off game.
There's a difference. They beat NC State 24-9 with NC State without their starting quarterback, who is a monster. And then they blow a huge lead to Clemson. Huge lead. They're up 11 in the fourth quarter, and the backup true freshman comes in and leads them back over them. What are we talking about? Like what? Why is that given so much credit and so much standing? Like that is nothing special.
I see what you mean, but I don't know if they're getting so much credit. They're getting the credit I think that they deserve. They're like what, ranked 17th in the country? I think that's about what Notre Dame is. Our record doesn't say that, but that's about where we are.
Sure.
And if we just won a couple games that we should have fucking won, we'd be there. But of course we fucking didn't. But I don't know. I think it's going to be a close game, and I think we need to play at our peak, and if we do, we're going to fucking kill them.
To put just a neat little bow on this, and we can move on. You don't have a bye week before Notre Dame. You're super banged up. You were just way up for Clemson. If this was any other team, this would be the game that they were saying, like, this could be a letdown game. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this wasn't Notre Dame. So that's all I'm going to say.
I wish Syracuse would have won last week. Think about that.
Yeah, that would have been something. But
dude, we could be spoiler.
You would have got like plus 200 probably money line.
I don't know. You know what's crazy is originally when this line dropped, Notre Dame got 2.5 or 3 points, and then it shifted all the way to the other end of the spectrum and has not quite shifted all the way back yet, but we're getting closer. But that's what I'm saying. Syracuse weakness, giving up plays in the run game. Notre Dame strength, running the ball. Syracuse doesn't give up big plays. Notre Dame doesn't hit big plays anyway, so it doesn't matter.
All right, I'll roll off my second bet. We'll get off Notre Dame, Syracuse. We can come back to it for a bit.
All right.
But my second bet I'm going to roll with is the TCU alt spread at minus 6.5. They're playing West Virginia, which is also nothing special. They never really are. TCU's rolling out the number 3 total offense, and West Virginia has the number 95 total D. And TCU's 5-1-1 against the spread. They got, and a good recommendation for you guys to shit can Tommy Rees and go get Baby Riley. They got Garrett Riley at offensive coordinator, and he is killing it. You need to go get him, pay him the bag. If you can't get the guy from Ohio State, give him the bag.
Yeah.
Because he is good. So 6.5 I feel is nice because West Virginia is probably not going to do much.
I like that play. I was very tempted by the over in this game, but I'm just not sure that West Virginia is going to score enough for it to get the over.
Yeah, I mean, TCU's D isn't that good, but I just like their offense so much more than West Virginia's D. I just don't think that, I don't see how West Virginia, without a bunch of turnovers or special teams, because, I mean, you can always get special teams points.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Tyler, what do you got for your pick?
So I've got the Kansas State game. The over is at 56. Oklahoma State, Kansas State. And I think Oklahoma State might score 50 on them. So I think this is going to hit pretty easily. The last time I took the under on a game like this, they scored the over in the first quarter, I think. So this is just going to be a big game. Kansas State sucks, but they don't play defense in the Big 12, right, Bryce? So,
hey, we developed Patrick Mahomes. You're welcome.
No, I just think this 56 just seems really low. Like Oklahoma State, even if they just score 30 or a little over 30, Kansas State has been scoring in the mid-20s, and that would already put it there. And I think Oklahoma State's going to score 40 minimum. So 56 just seems low. Like it's one of those games where they set it at 56 and by halftime the over is at 87.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what I expect this game to be.
Well, and here's the thing: Oklahoma State goes. That's hurry up offense the whole game.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the score is; they're gonna go. And I know Kansas State is probably more of a slow grind, but I think they find the balance and it ends up going over. I like that.
Yeah, you know what it's like though. Like you're like, should we take the over or not? And then the game starts like, fuck.
The only thing that would screw you is one team not scoring at all.
You're right. Yeah, that would be bad.
Weren't you saying, Grant, that Kansas State's quarterback might be hurt?
Yeah, he might be, but that could be something that helped. But any way you cut it, regardless of if he's hurt or not, they just run the ball. They're Deuce Robinson and Martinez. They literally just like run it. It's almost like a Navy.
Big 12 run.
Deuce Vaughn's a monster.
He is. He's
it's
good.
So different than like Big 10. Big 10, I feel like you're running the ball and you're getting 3 yards. Big 12, it's like 12-yard carries, 9-yard carries, like just wide open runs all the fucking time. It's so different. You know what I mean? Like that hurry up style, quick, great offense. It's so weird. Terrible defense.
I mean, that Texas has Bijan too, so it's hard for me to ever really complain when we're rolling out like the best RB in the country.
Yeah.
My second pick of the day is I'm going to take Wake Forest minus 3.5 on the road at Louisville. Again, I don't really have a lot of respect for Louisville at this point in time. Not saying they couldn't earn it, but we're talking about a Wake Forest team that went in and banged at Clemson. They're the number 10 team in the country right now. Louisville is unranked. I don't really know. This is another game where I could see Wake Forest winning by 10 plus, like maybe even more. It just doesn't really, the spread doesn't make a ton of sense to me. And maybe people know things that I don't about Wake Forest and Louisville, but based on Sam Hartman and how that Wake Forest offense can just literally just go, I mean, I like the odds of them winning by 3.5. I'm not even going to buy a point. I mean, if you want to buy a point, you could to make it a little. It's probably like a minus 120 some. If you buy a point, it's at minus 105 right now at 3.5. So I'm taking Wake Forest. I'm rolling with those guys.
Little side note on that, ESPN has that game kind of like a 50-50. They actually have it slightly favored for Louisville, so that's probably why you're seeing that line off Football Power Index.
It could be. I mean, I just don't know how you do that when you have a one-loss Wake Forest team that really took Clemson to OT.
I mean, record and spread is definitely for Wake Forest. So they're 6-1 against the spread. That's pretty good, and a little line like that's not too much.
Right. No, I like that. What's your third, Bryce?
All right, for my third one, we're gonna roll out USC over Arizona. I'm gonna take the spread at minus 13. It's an alt spread. You could probably take it up to 14 or buy it down to 10. But Arizona, man, their last 4 games, every time they lose, not their last 4, every time they lose, it's been 17-39, 31-49, 22-49, 39-49. And it's like, so you're telling me USC is going to score 49 points at least?
Right.
Or something with a 9, or they're just going to go down a bunch. I feel like they're going to go down a bunch.
That could be. I mean, I like that pick. I think the over-under set at like 76 or something like that. Something crazy.
Yeah,
it's because Arizona's last games, when I was doing the research, man, I'm like, if Arizona's going to lose, they're going to blow it big.
Yeah, that's fair.
But they're probably going to score some points because USC's D is kind of squishy, but USC's offense is also better. So
fair. I like it. Tyler, what are you feeling?
Okay, so my last one, I think this one might be the most controversial, and I don't know if you'll like it, but I'm going to see what you guys think anyway. The Ohio State-Penn State game is at a 60.5, and I'm taking the over because Ohio State has scored 45, 77, 52, 49, 49, and 54. And I know it's the Big Ten, and the Big Ten isn't real, but like Wisconsin always brings something to the table. Michigan State brings something. Like they might not be the best team. Even Iowa was okay to start the year, right? But they've kind of fallen off. They were just scoring like crazy on them, and I don't think Penn State is that good. Right. So if they score about what they normally score, they've been scoring 45. The only game they didn't was against Notre Dame. That was a fucking weird game.
Yeah.
Let's just even take away a few points and say they score 40. Then we only need 20 from Penn State. And Penn State has been scoring more lately. They scored 45 against Minnesota. It's kind of the same thing. Like Minnesota is another team that's okay.
What they do against Michigan last week?
Michigan, they only scored 17. So let's say they do score 17, then we need 43 from Ohio State. And that's exactly what I expect from Ohio State is 45 plus. I think it's going to be a blowout. And I think 60 is probably a decent line. I just expect it to be a high scoring game.
Right. No, I agree with that. And it's the only risk is I think Penn State is just so shit.
Yeah, Ohio State's coming in number 2 total D too. That's why that line's like that. They got Ohio State's total D and total offense are just crazy.
Because here's the thing. I watched a lot of the Penn State Michigan game because I had a bet. I took an alternate Penn State spread. Like I was like, there's no way Michigan should beat them by 21 and a half. There's no way, right? Well, it fucking happened. So, and this is the thing. I want you to know that Penn State's touchdowns were freaky as fuck. There was a pick. I think it was like damn near a pick 6, and then a huge like quarterback run that got him way down into the red zone.
So, do you think Ohio State's going to hold him to 3 points? Like, what do you think?
No, I think they're going to score because what I think is going to happen is I think Ohio State's going to ram it up their ass so hard that they pull their starters. And
that is what I think too. Like, I almost think 60. I'm betting more on the end of the game because it's going to be a terrible game than I am the actual score of the game. Because, like, there's the real score. It's like, oh well, wasn't that close. And then by the end of the game, they only lose by 14, but you really lost by fucking 34.
Yeah. I mean, they're just like, here's the thing. I think that Ohio State this year is better than Michigan. I'm not going to say way better because I don't want to get into all that yet. But if Michigan beats them by that, Ohio State should totally do similar damage. And I don't give a shit that it's at Penn State. Because here we go. It's a noon game. I mean, I don't care. The atmosphere is always good at Penn State. It's a noon game. Let's keep it 100. This isn't a night game. I don't care. And that's perfect that you picked that because it segues me into my last pick, which is.
Wait, hold on one second. Let's say hi to Kidder. Thanks for joining us. He says Stephen A. Smith is going to be a friend of Jackson State head coach Deion Sanders will be this week's college game day picker. Cool.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Thanks for joining us, man. What do you expect? Any good bets this week? What do you think, Kidder?
Can you even bet on Jackson State? Is that bettable?
I don't know if it is or not. It's a great question.
What a terrible game day, right?
They always do that. There's always a week or two where they'll fuck off and go to North Dakota State or something.
Yeah, I know. It sucks.
But
I wonder if that hurts their people watching. Like, I'd love to know the difference between that and Notre Dame, Ohio State.
People like the preview regardless, but I'm going to segue into my last pick, and I'm going to say I'm just going to be cautious, Carl, here, and I'm going to buy a point, Ohio State minus 13.5. I don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell that Ohio State doesn't win this game by 2 touchdowns. And that's a minus 134. If you want to put your balls out and just say that they're going to win by 14.5, it's always iffy to me. And I know it's a conference game, so you never know what Penn State will do, but they just shit down their leg against Michigan, and Ohio State's offense like literally like the Rock on steroids. It's just like it's crazy.
I want to say even last week, like Ohio State went down early and like didn't score the first time, but then 4 minutes later they scored 21 points. You know what I mean? It's like you get scared for a second, but then Ohio State reminds you, like, no, they're gods compared to these shit Big Ten teams.
Yeah, and that's the thing that everyone needs to keep in mind. Also, that they only scored 21. Was it 21 on Notre Dame? What did they score?
That game was such a fucking fluke, man.
Everything
about it.
It was in the sense of everything, like
everything.
I was glad in week 1, but
Our
that's
first play of the game was a 50-yard play. It might be our only one of the year. I don't even know. Like, it's
right.
just ugly game. I can't believe we didn't get blown out.
Yeah. So, I'm just thinking there's not a snowball's chance in hell Ohio State doesn't win by 2 tutties. There's just no way. And Texas is idle this week, right, Bryce?
Yeah, we're on a bye, and then we get Kansas State. So
Easy
that'll
win.
be. Yeah, Deuce. The only thing I'm worried about is Deuce Vaughn, but we shouldn't have too much of a problem.
Nah, Kansas State's bad. Did you know Kansas State is the only college, like Division I college, that doesn't have any championships in any sport?
Who?
Oof, that's
Kansas
bad.
State.
Oh God.
Isn't that insane? Like that
That's kinda
stat
sad.
blew my mind. I think Notre Dame has won like the last 15 fencing national championships. Like
Texas
fucking
always wins something: swimming, golf, tennis, run, track. There's something random we win
fucking
every
soccer.
year.
There's
Yeah,
But
volleyball.
you have to think of it in the sense of like it's Kansas State. Like that's not even close to premier.
But listen, it's the only one.
Yeah, everybody's winning something. Yeah.
Yes. In one sport, in one time. Like you have to think just 1 year you get a good player who's good at fucking polo and is better at swimming than other people. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's never fucking happened.
You know what? Kansas State can just call us up. We'll take over for their football program. We'll bring them home their first championship.
I mean, name another terrible school that you wouldn't
Texas
expect.
A&M.
Like they've won a championship in something. Anything, any school.
It's hard, man. You'd have to go pick through a lot of stats and stuff.
It's insane.
Did you guys see the stuff about Texas A&M? Not to get too far off base, about like they had 4 freshmen that were like smoking bud before the game, who are now suspended from the team.
Get it?
Like everybody's like, oh well, that's what happens when you have NIL and stuff like that. Like these guys are going to go to a school they don't really feel connected to. They're going to do what they want because they're making money, and then if they don't play right away, they're just going to leave. And that's the era of football that we're in. So I'm just waiting for the Notre Dame boosters to get all their money together, and so we can start buying some guys too.
Do you think
guys are way too late to the party?
Yeah.
You guys are coming in way too late. You needed to be ahead of the curve on that, and
Notre
it's
Dame will
just
never do that. They're not going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. You find good players, though, because I like players that actually stick around or, like, a little bit more committed. I think you got to watch who you're recruiting these days. Like, I wouldn't just – sometimes even the best players aren't the best. You can still develop a 3 or 4 star into someone great. There's lower players that make it all the time.
Can. It's just the principle. Like, if you're an A&M fan and you have Jimbo Fisher, you guys – A&M's literally had, like, top 3 recruiting classes for the last, 3 years?
Probably something. Well, top 10, probably.
I mean, there was a class they took like 8 D linemen. Like,
oh yeah, they recruit against us every year in the state of Texas. State of Texas has great recruiting. They get good recruits. It's just I don't know. They don't put it together.
I'm just saying, bottom line, A&M for what they get in recruiting classes is ass cheeks. I would never be happy with that result. Like if Freeman was rolling those classes in for 3 years and we had the results they had, I would not be happy.
Oh, here we got Michael Robinson. He said the same was said about Penn State last year, and they covered and hit the under. So if it's like last year, we're going to be wrong. But I don't think that'll happen. But we'll see.
It feels different. Like Penn State just, I don't know. It just feels different. Like watching them against Michigan and just their complete inability to like really put anything of significance together. Like, and not even to just bash Penn State. Because obviously anything can happen in conference games, especially in football.
Yeah, conference. That's the one thing. Like Penn State could come out hot today and be up 20-3 out of nowhere. You know,
it's just you have to worry about. The only thing you have to worry about for the over is that Penn State comes out and plays defense for a quarter and a half, and it slows Ohio State down. But I still don't think there's a chance in hell that they cover.
They're gonna need a lead, like I just said, like 14-0 or 17-3 to even have a chance in this game.
And it's
Penn State total D at 63.
If Ohio State takes a good lead, like
good.
a double-digit lead, it's over. They're not coming back.
Is Smith and Jigba playing today? Does anybody know?
We'll find out during the game like 50 times, I'm sure.
He's not playing. There he is on the sideline.
There he is. He's standing there. He's still standing there. It's third down. He's still not on the field.
Him, Harrison Jr., and Buka. Dude, there's no fucking way. There's no way.
What's up, Mad Spidey? Thanks for joining us. I think U of M covers the 10.5 versus Ohio State. Our defense looked beat up early, but I'm taking my shots on the under 35 plus 110. And he said he's out today. So we've got a Penn State guy in the chat, Michael Robinson. So it's like us with Notre Dame.
Yeah.
It's expected.
Well, the thing of it is, you always have to respect a guy who knows his team.
Yeah, for sure. And you watch
That's
every week.
Like about with us with Notre Dame and Bryce with Texas, like you know your team in and out, and that just makes you feel more confident in what has happened or what you think about it, which is why I feel the way I do about Notre Dame today. I will say that of the big bets that I've placed on Notre Dame this year, 3-0 by the way, that this is the most nervous I've been about it, just because Pine has not played his best the last 2 weeks. He's completing about 50% of the balls that he's thrown. So we can't really have that this week. We have to at least maintain, like, you have to respect it. But here's the funniest part. So not only does Syracuse give up a lot of big runs, just not big runs, good running games because they're undersized. The position that they struggle to cover the most is the tight end.
Yeah,
that guy right behind me, the best tight end in America, the best tight end in the history of the University of Notre Dame, who's
maybe one of the top 10 tight ends in football, including the NFL. Like that's how good he is.
I mean,
you got his receiving yards then today, Grant?
It's at 70, 71 and a half.
No, I got it at 67.5 right now on DK.
67.5. What's his touchdown? It was minus 125 on FanDuel.
It's minus 110.
I would honestly pair the touchdown in yards. I would take a risk on that. I mean, has anyone stopped Michael Mayer? I mean,
the one game, what was it? The Stanford game where he didn't hit a touchdown and we barely scored. That game was that was our fluke game though. We played like we forgot we were playing a football game that day.
Yeah. I mean, I expect Notre Dame to get up. I honestly, now that you said that, Bryce, I might go take his touchdown in yards and parlay and put a little something on it. But here's the thing about Michael Mayer is that Syracuse could put a very concerted effort into bracketing him. They run a weird defense. They run a 3-3-5. But they're one of their linebackers steps up. Like, you know how Notre Dame, that when they do their 3-man, one of their linebackers or linemen basically stands up like a linebacker on the line. So it's a 3-3-5, but I think essentially it's a 4-3. Any way you cut it, if you're putting out 3 undersized defensive linemen against Notre Dame's front, unless you're
we're gonna torch them on the ground.
Unless you're stacking the box with 8, and we can't figure it out.
What's Estime at, man? He's going over today. I don't even know what his line is.
They're not offering a line on Estime because Captain Fumbleitis.
Yeah, DK doesn't have anything open right now for it.
They're not offering any.
I think people already banged his under to death. I seen people were talking about his under if it ever came out, so they might have just killed it right when it came out.
Well, the problem is that Notre Dame literally has 3 guys who could go for 100 yards any given week.
Yeah,
and who have gone for 100 yards in any given week. So
yeah, and that's the problem too, because who are you betting on?
That's the problem. So I mean, it's Notre Dame this week is going to be it's scary, but it's exciting, and I love a noon start, so I don't have to wait and anticipate it all day.
Yeah, noon is great, man. I don't think I'd like it every week, but it's nice every once in a while.
Right.
Do you know what channel it's on?
ABC.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
No Peacock this week.
Yeah, that really.
Dude, why the hell is Notre Dame do that to you guys? That's
they do it
annoying
once a
as hell.
year. They do it
That's so. Why are they trying to fuck you guys? They're your fans. Like,
get Peacock. If they have momentum for it to make it where all the games are played, and just to be quite frank, they just don't have that kind of momentum, and no one wants to watch the game on a lag.
Yeah. Any thoughts? Have a 50-cent 10-leg parlay. And the last 3 legs are under 37.5 Iowa versus Northwestern, under 50.5 Illinois versus Nebraska, and Jake Paul to beat Anderson Silva boxing.
Ooh, I like Paul to beat Silva. I like the Iowa Northwestern under. I could see Illinois just ramming it up Nebraska's butt. That's the only thing that I could see going wrong with that. But I could see how they both play ball control. So as long as Illinois is not popping off big plays and big runs,
I
because
don't think Illinois is going to let Nebraska really do too much. It looks okay, but bearing Illinois doesn't blow them out of the water and they get like a couple late touchdowns to screw it over. But the number one ranked D, they're only letting up like 200 something yards a game, man. Nebraska's offense is not that good. Casey Thompson, old Texas quarterback, not that good.
Yeah, Illinois is going to kill Nebraska. Do they kill them enough where it's 40-10?
But they kill the
And
clock
you're
too.
right,
They also run the most, so it's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
like a sneaky little bet every week. It's not the worst. It's
Or
a
is it
good
going to be
angle.
or is it going to be 27-3 where it's hitting the under easily and they still blow them out?
Yeah.
well, so here's the interesting part about, because I'm a firm believer that a lot of fights are fixed and that there's a lot of like, stuff that goes on, especially with like how much of the purse people take home and whatever. If you saw Jake Paul's interview with old boy, I think that was the guy, or maybe he was betting something with a different guy about this fight. But basically, in his press conference, he bet somebody like if he loses, he'll fight this person in a kickboxing match. If he wins, then that person is going to be the president of some new MMA association, and they're going to try to get the MMA fighters more money. So think about that. It's Jake Paul, and it's a business perspective, and it's a business thing. So if he wins, now he's got to start his own MMA shit and have this guy be in charge of it.
Yeah, man, no problem. I mean, just fun to talk about. Make sure you subscribe and come back. We'll do this again. Maybe you can even join us one day.
Yeah,
Talk about some random shit. We're always down to bring more people in and just talk about football or really any bets. I've banged some NBA bets lately and been winning those. I think I
hit one last night. Got me good for today to have some kind of low risk bets on FanDuel because I ended up getting Halliburton points, assists, Turner boards, and Buddy Hield threes last night. So I ended up making a quick little,
I got the Pelicans game over last night. I got the Jazz plus 18.5 last night. Boston, was that a couple nights ago? I took the over on the Cavs Boston game.
Well, here's the thing. Tyler's a guy, he works third shift, so he gets to watch a lot of the West Coast teams because he'll be up late, So he's great for NBA stuff because he's seen a lot of teams that not many people in East Coast or Midwest have seen. So he's got a very good read on all that stuff right now.
Yeah, and I just love the NBA.
Halliburton is a walking double-double right now. If
you guys need to give him the bag, secure him long term, give him the bag.
You solely bet his double-double and just his assist line, the dude would have you up so much money. It would be crazy right now how much money you'd be up if you just bet.
Are the Lakers and Pacers going to make this trade at any point? I don't even know if I want it. But
I don't think
I would not take that trade.
Honestly, this year so far, Buddy Hield's playing well. I mean, I know it's like the first week of NBA. Let's keep all this in perspective. Buddy Hield's playing extremely well right now, and Miles Turner coming off of his ankle sprain just went off. I mean, the thing of it is that the value of these guys is going to perceivably go up if they're playing well. So, and the Lakers have already shown that they don't want to pony up, and I don't know why the Pacers would risk fucking the chemistry of their team up to get Russell Westbrook in a pick.
Basically, because they think they're gonna lose. What is it, Turner and
Hield?
Hield? Would it just be one or both?
It would be both. But here's the thing: if you're gonna do that shit, do it with someone else. Because the Lakers pick that they're offering isn't going to be a high pick because they already got rid of this year's pick to who was it, the Pelicans or some shit?
I think it is gonna. I don't know, man. Lakers are fucking trash, man.
My point is, do it with a team that's better suited for you to get some better assets back than Russell Westbrook. Get a first.
I legitimately think Russell Westbrook is good. Like last year, I didn't really like him. This year, I do. I think it's because no one on the team can shoot. And if Russell Westbrook isn't scoring, no one is because AD is going to give you 25. LeBron is LeBron. And if Russell doesn't score, no one on the fucking floor scores.
There's no reason for the Pacers to Westbrook, like zero. There's no reason. I mean, the only thing we'd be doing it for is to eat his salary and just have him sit there for a year, and that's all. But I mean, we're kind of getting up to like about 40 minutes. Any last thoughts you guys want to put into this thing before we call it a day and get ready to watch some of these games play out?
No. I just I hope at least 2 of my bets hit today. It'll be an interesting one. I have some NBA bets too today, I think. Let me look at those real quick. I got the Pacers game plus 10.5 against the Nets.
The Nets have been sus. They've been real sus.
They've been bad. Sus is not like, shout out to Ben Simmons. I'm gonna take that 10.5 points on Ben Simmons alone, man. Can you believe people think he was good? Like, I remember, what was it, like year 2? I thought Simmons was good, but that was the year, and then I saw him play after that, and I remembered he's not. And then I've got Oklahoma City Thunder plus 10.5 against the Mavs.
Ooh, I watched a little bit of them.
This is a good example. I've watched the Mavs a lot this year. Oklahoma City Thunder is way better than they should be, and the Mavs are not. If they didn't have Luka, they'd be the Lakers.
Yeah, Luka is so good, man. Luka's crazy
is a
good.
god. Luka is my next LeBron. Like, I love Luka as much as LeBron, basically.
They have to stop bringing Christian Wood off the bench, bro. Like, put him in your fucking starting lineup. You can't be like, I want Juice off the bench and not have Juice in your starting lineup.
Yeah.
He was way too good to be a 6-man.
Well, what's Hardaway been doing this year?
Not enough.
Probably not enough, yeah, because they need Hardaway to hit
it's like
20.
9 a game, or maybe it's less than that. He hasn't been playing that good. No one on the Mavs has. And I just think 10.5 is way too many for OKC. Yeah. But yeah, that's it for the day. I guess we'll just end it. We'll probably do this hopefully weekly now, and maybe go live. If you guys ever want to hit me up, I'm at Ready for Wednesday, or you can just type a comment in one of our things, and we can get you into one of these one day. That'll be fun. But thanks for watching, and go Irish.
Go Irish.